Having completed chapter 3, let us move to Chaturthodhyaya, chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yoga. Let us move to the first sloka where the Lord traces the history of the science of Karma Yoga. He tells Arjuna that he taught this science, this imperishable science of Karma Yoga to the sun god. So he traces the history of Karma Yoga from the remote time when it was delivered to the royal order. Shri Bhagavanuvacha imam vivasvate yogam प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययं विवस्वान् मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्. इमम् अव्ययं योगम् अहं विवस्वते प्रोक्तवान्. इमम् अव्ययं योगम्, अव्ययम् eternal, immortal. So aham vivasvate प्रोक्तवान् taught. I taught this immortal, eternal yogam, this karma yoga to Vivasvate, to Vivasvaan. Vivasvaan, the sun god. Vivasvaan manave praha. So Vivasvaan, in turn, he told the same to Manu. Manu the progenitor of human race. Manu ikshvakave abravit. So Manu in turn taught the same to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku, the first king of the solar dynasty. So Lord Krishna says that he taught the secret of Karma Yoga, that is Nishkama Yoga, the yoga of performing actions without attachment, to Vivasvaan. Vivasvaan, the sun god. And through him Manu, Ikshvaku and other kings who lived like saints. The power of this yoga is such that the mind gets purified and one attains perfection or siddhi by practicing it. Irrespective of the status enjoyed in the society, anyone who practiced it benefited from it. They became pure and they got liberated. The yoga is eternal, everlasting. Sri Krishna uses the word avyayam. Avyayam, eternal, everlasting, as the yoga works as long as mankind exists. Now sloka 2. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtah parantapa. Parantapa, O Arjuna, one who scorches his enemies. Evam thus. Parampara praptam imam raja rishayah viduhu. Parampara praptam imam raja rishayah viduhu. So, O Arjuna, the Raja Rishis, the royal sages, to whom this yoga was handed over, parampara praptam, from generations to generation, this yoga was handed over to them. Viduhu, so they knew this yoga. Viduhu, no. So they knew this yoga. Saha kalena iha. Iha is in this world. So in this world, saha kalena, with the passage of time, mahata yogaha nashtaha. Saha mahata yogaha nashtaha. So with passage of time, this great yoga was lost to the world. The saintly kings of yesteryears who knew Brahma Vidya, they were called Raja Rishis. This knowledge, also called Atma Vidya, could be acquired by anyone. One who had knowledge of this was called a Rishi. Kings who had multiple responsibilities, they possessed this knowledge and they practiced Karma Yoga, and they were role models to their citizens. So one must not assume that to become spiritual and to attain Siddhi, one needs to meditate in forests. These Raja Rishis have proved to us that amidst all the administrative responsibilities, busy schedules and stress, Karma Yoga practice was possible for them. And one could easily achieve perfection through this practice. Sayevayam maya tedya yoga proktah puratanaha bhaktosi me saka cheti rahasyam hyetaduttamam. Adya eva ayam maya te puratanaha yoga proktaha. Proktaha, tell, teach. So adya, today, evam Evam Puratanaha Yoga. This ancient yoga has been taught by me to you. Iti Bhaktaha Asi. You are my devotee, as you are my devotee. Sakacha, you are my friend also. Rahasyam hi etatu uttamam. This indeed is a supreme secret. So Arjuna is dear to Lord Krishna as he is devotee and his friend as well. And hence the Lord taught the supreme secret to Arjuna. Arjuna surrendered as a Shishya with absolute commitment and faith. And hence the Lord considered him eligible. Only a committed devotee with faith would be able to understand this great knowledge. So we too should be pious, sincere, committed and devoted like Arjuna to understand this yoga and to practice this yoga and to benefit from this yoga. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvatah katameta dvijaniyam tvamadau proktavaniti. Arjuna uvacha, Arjuna asks aparam bhavatah janma. That is, Arjuna tells Krishna that your birth was aparam, much later. Param janma vivasvatah. Vivasvaan was born param, earlier. Tvam adau proktavan. Adau is at the very beginning. That is tvam, you, O Lord Krishna, you. Adau proktavan iti katam etat vijaniyam. How do I vijaniyam understand that? Katam. How do I understand that? Tvam adau proktavan. That you at the very beginning taught Vivasvaan. So Lord Krishna and Arjuna, they were contemporaries, friends who lived during the same time period. So it is with this limited knowledge, Arjuna has this doubt. How could Sri Krishna have taught this Karma Yoga to Vivasvaan at the very beginning of the creation? Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani tava charjuna Tanyaham veda sarvani Natvam vetta parantapa. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, the Lord replies, Arjuna, mecha tava bahuni janmani vyatitani. Vyatitani have passed. Arjuna, O Arjuna, mecha tava. Lord Krishna replies, many births of mine, bahuni janmani, many births of mine, mecha tava, mine as well as yours have passed. Parantapa, O Arjuna, scorcher of foes, enemies, Tani sarvani aham veda tvam na veta. O Arjuna, scorcher of foes, I know them all, but you know not. So the Lord tells that many births of mine as well as yours have passed. I have knowledge about all my births and your births as well, but you do not. You are not aware of them. So on account of Maya, on account of ignorance, we live in the present life and our awareness and knowledge is limited to the present life. All our thoughts are confined to the relationships, the wealth, the position, prosperity we enjoy, and the sorrows, enemies, challenges we face in our present life. If we fail to move past the karma bandhana, we are going to have many births, maybe as humans and maybe as other living beings as well. By virtue of punya done in the past life, as we are born as humans and we have the discriminative ability. Lord Krishna is the Lord of Maya. While we are subject to Maya, Lord Krishna has had many incarnations controlling Maya with the sole purpose of establishing dharma in this world. As the Lord of Maya, he has knowledge of his incarnations from the beginning of creation. While we as subjects of Maya, we forget about our past births. Ajopi sannavyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadishtaya sambhavam yatma mayaya. Sri Krishna continues to reply to Arjuna's question. In the previous sloka, he said that you are not aware of your previous births while I am. And then he continues to say, Ajaha api san. Ja is born, Ajaha, though not born. Ajaha is not born. So even though not born, Avyay and Avyayatma. Avyaya is immortal. So, though not born, though immortal and eternal, Bhutanam Ishwaraha api swam. I am also the Lord of all Bhutanam. Bhutanam, all living beings. Prakritim Adhishtaya. So, Adhishtaya, keeping my Prakritim, my nature under control. Atma Mayaya Sambhavami. I manifest through Atma Mayaya. I manifest through the power of my Maya. Through the power of my Maya Shakthi. So, explaining the importance of his incarnations and clarifying the mystery relating to his many births, the Lord in this shloka says that using his Maya Shakti as an instrument, he takes many forms as per his will. As Lord of all beings, his incarnations have a definite purpose of doing good to the world. Even though he is Ajaha, birthless, he is Avyayatma. The Lord is immortal, he is eternal, and as a supreme Lord of all beings, he uses the power of Maya to manifest, take many forms to do good to the world. In the multiple avatars as Rama and Krishna, he has done good to the world, to all beings. In spite of his avatars, he is the same unborn, immortal, changeless, eternal form of bliss and knowledge. And as ordinary people living in this material world, we forget the past births. But the Lord, who is not affected by the material world, is fully conscious, is aware of the previous incarnations. So let's summarize what we've covered in the first 6 slokas of the 4th chapter. In the first sloka, tracing the history of Karma Yoga, the Lord tells that in the beginning of creation, he taught this mystical and secret science to Vivasvaan, the sun god, who in turn taught it to Manu, and Manu in turn taught the same to Ikshvaku, the first king of solar dynasty. Thus, this mystical science was transmitted in succession from father to son, and thus this yoga was known to the kings, who are also known as Raja Rishis. With passage of time, however, this yoga got lost to the world. Sri Krishna then tells Arjuna fondly that it is taught to Arjuna as he is the Lord's devotee and a friend as well. Arjuna, a keen and devoted listener, has a doubt at this point. He asks the Lord, since the birth of Vivasvaan dates back to ancient times, then how am I to understand that you taught Vivasvaan? The all-knowing Lord replies, you and I have had multiple births. I remember them all while you don't. He further tells Arjuna that though birthless, eternal and Lord of all beings, he uses Maya as an instrument to manifest himself by keeping his Prakriti, that is his nature, under control. The conversation between Arjuna and Krishna gets more interesting in the next few shlokas. The Lord tells us more about his incarnations, about which we would see in the next video. Thank you.